I just want to reassure everybody we apologize profusely. Yes, we're in England, but it does not excuse a three-man British panel. Like, that's,
I don't know
they went too far. Now, a three-man Australian panel, now that would be fun. That would be fun.
For some of us. Not
for everyone.
all.
Come on, didn't you watch like IEM in Australia? That stuff was fantastic. Of course, the entire panel wasn't Australian, but it may as well have been.
Well, if you need to get every Dota player in Australia out to the event for that to happen.
Yeah, actually, can we even make a panel with everyone we got? We'll put Anna on the panel. We'll bring in Gods myself. That's fine.
Velo's Australian. Get KP out there.
Yeah, we'll get KP up there. We'll have the soft-spoken analysis on down the end. Let's talk about this game and stop memeing our asses off. TNC opening up with an Ancient Apparition, finishing up with a Sniper. Yep. It's a fun way to go, whereas like it's what we were expecting from TNC at the beginning, but they've got this great kicker.
It's good phrase as well. There's a little bit of a lack of reach on the side of EG. Obviously, you know, you've got the Shaker can get a blink, as will the Puck, but you know, Lifestealer, SF, Visage, these are relatively low mobility heroes. However, we can probably, Sumel's already skilled raises, and we can expect him to go for that more Spellcaster, Shadow Fiend style, and I think that matches up a lot better against the Sniper. But if you look at the TNC draft, there's a ton of frontline. There's a lot of beef in front of Armel. So if you get a Wraith King with a Radiance, Earth Spirit rolling forwards, the Surge, the Vac Wall, you got a lot more damage, raw damage.
Is it TNC? Like, you're talking about this raw damage, you're talking about these great ways to get in. How does EG want to play this? Like, they're running around with one of the best heroes in both this meta as well as the last in the form of the Earthshaker. You've got Puck's AoE control and delivery system for the Lifestealer. You've got Burst to get through the back lines as well. Is it EG that wants to be the initiators, or should it be TNC?
Let's not get ahead of ourselves, because it's very important, first off, that EG dodged this tri-lane coming out from TNC. And if you're TNC, you need to ensure that your tri-lane matches up against this Arteezy Lifestealer, because while Wraith King is, you know, you have the damage to kill a Puck, but you don't want to be laning against him. He's got an Orb and a Phase Shift that could juke your stun. And in addition, the aggro tri-lane of TNC, the AA is not a great pick in this game, but in the laning phase with the Wraith King with an Earth Spirit, like, you're just going to get kill after kill after kill if you're able to contest aggressively. If they're not able to, this is a big punish. Crit actually TPing top, because it looks like TNC will not be rotating lanes, and I don't know if I like this decision.
Well, they even actually got the Fisher block on AU. Like, he's running as far as he possibly can, but with his Puck Orb, they're probably going to get first blood. Ancient Apparition. This is the effect that you were wondering about as well. It was like, how effective is Crit going to be? He did this from the Tier 1 tower, keep in mind. He just body blocked up the wave perfectly.
Yeah, and this is already feeling good. If you're EG, you just want to ensure that you control the laning phase. I would personally definitely trust my Sumel SF middle, even though he is a bit behind thus far against Armel.
But that's the thing of SF. You can just slip into the jungle as long as the support's done a little bit of stacking for you.
Yeah, it's also like, how many times do we see this in the group stage, right? You look bottom lane, there's a Darkseer against a Lifestealer. You're going to be trading, but it's the gold benefits Lifestealer way more than Cuckoo. This is how teams abuse this Darkseer solo. You just get a more valuable hero there that outfarms.
He really didn't want a rolling boulder forward, then he just wanted to hit into Crit. Considering Crit's already used the Fisher, that's what locked him in position.
Yeah, and I love EG deciding to just tri-lane up here, because in reality, because it's a Puck and not the Lifestealer, it's much easier for S4 to CS, and he's also just lower value. You think about it, Arteezy's going to have an easy time getting a phase from Isis up, whereas top, you're just going to prevent Gabby from hitting that same sort of acceleration, and your core is going to be far ahead once you hit the mid-game.
This actually feels so odd watching the bottom lane. Darkseer, who stands in lane for once, and not behind the lane. He's actually in the face of Arteezy.
It's very difficult to back lane, especially in the Radiant safe lane. If you look above the tower, I mean, if you go in between Tier 1, Tier 2, right? Where do you escape? Yeah. Like, you have 3 areas people can teleport into, and you're just kind of stuck.
You just don't do it this way when you're Radiant on bottom lane. But it's just like, if you wanted to skip behind, Arteezy would just sit there. He would max up, like, as he is already doing. He's gone for a 1-2 build for his first 3, like, just making sure he can get some lifesteal back, and he'll be fine to sit onto tower and just and farm.
And that's my exact concern, Tobes. And
Cuckoo actually ends up exactly where we're talking about now. It's like, it's what you don't want, but it's what you've got.
The concern I've got is just that I've always just seen this end poorly, because you as Cuckoo are going to have a good game, but as you can see, Arteezy already doing what every carry is going to do, which is drag the lane to the hard camp and actually out-farm, out-level you because he's simply getting more CS.
Yeah, he's actually pinging it out, saying, hey, can someone come down here and stop Arteezy from doing this?
No, they can't, because if they do, then they're going to abandon their Wraith King up top, and it's AA Wraith King. This is a kill lane against a hero that they cannot kill in the S4 puck. Even if they got a Wraith King stun off, he can just juke the Cold Feet.
Mid, missing that engagement. Again, Tim's. This rolling boulder just kicks a little off to the side.
Yeah.
And Semifinal didn't even have to dodge it. He stood exactly where he was.
Yeah, however,
so Cuckoo is actually really trying to get this done.
But if you look at it, it's just, let's not talk about the bot lane anymore. It's boring, guys. I'm telling you, it's just going to be people farming CS. We don't need to look at it.
All right.
You got Crit, however, I like what he's done. Just continuing to roam between top and mid, protecting Sumail, stacking jungle where he can. EG very comfortable with the stagnant laning phase, even if they are slightly behind in this mid lane.
I think Arteezy's running out of camps. He's actually going to double stack. Sorry, I'm doing it. I'm looking towards the bottom lane. He's going to double stack and then pull up.
It's this is a bit risky because when you have 2 waves, it becomes way more valuable for other players to potentially come down and deal with your back laning. He just doesn't want to take it under tower, I suppose, because you take too much damage.
Crit's going to try and kill Cuckoo at least.
Yep.
He's got Fissure and Totem available. He's going to start with the extra damage he needs and just needs to stop Cuckoo from running away. And it helps when Cuckoo walks directly into him. Another Totem. It's not enough damage to get the kill on Cuckoo. That's why he begins his TP. And he'll go to the shrine. Needed to wait for that 5-minute mark before he did it.
I'm surprised he wanted to, he used his stun there. Thought he might have just tried to trade, like, stall time. It's a level 2 Shaker, level 6 Darkseer. You can just trade your time for his. It's always value.
You also, like, because of this, now you get a 3-1 rune trade-off in favor of TNC. Moving the heroes, but not getting back down to the runes in time. And this is exactly what you don't want. S4 against the Wraith King if you're TNC.
Good. And I gotta say, like, it's gonna work, but oh, hang on.
He's already used Phase Shift. Oh, no, he's already used his Rift.
Yeah.
Phase Shift's back up already.
I hate what Arteezy's doing, but, you know, one of the greediest carry players in the world. He's literally just no items rushing Midas, which...
Oh, they're going again mid. Semifinal, but once again, Fissure from Crit. He's doing the work. Cuckoo wants to get involved as well. He's already searched himself forward. Crit underneath the tower. Armel can't get enough damage into him, and now Cuckoo is a little too deep. He's already got 2 stacks of that Shadow Raise. Semifinal, he's got the melee range, and that's why Cuckoo is staying right on top of him, not allowing Semifinal to get the distance he needed to get the mid-raise off. Dude. So Cuckoo, so aggressive, gets the kill on the mid.
Man, he would have lived there, Sumail, if he had just continued to walk away, actually. He had boots, Darkseer didn't surge on cooldown. And,
now Crit's going to tie him mid, maybe. Tim's, underneath the shrapnel. Tim's is pretty deep. He'll have a TP scroll available. Fly can't really do anything about that. All it can do is slow him down with the Grave Chill.
Yeah, really well done by TNC. This is all, you got to get aggressive in the mid lane. Cannot give Sumail space to breathe. And to reiterate, just saying, I dislike ever rushing first item Midas, okay? But when it works, it's obviously ideal.
When you're totally uncontested, even the way where you can remove an Iron Shell from the lane at some point, like it's a small little perk to stop any kind of like pressure.
Look at his skill. This is literally the greediest possible build. And TNC have not punished, which is quite scary to me. However, the heroes they have do match up quite well against the Arteezy Lifestealer. AA, it kind of goes both ways, where obviously Arteezy can ignore the cold feet and just run through that slow on the ground. But if you get the ult off on this Lifestealer, even through Rage, the open wounds heal, the feast heal, that disappears. And in addition, you have Wraithkin, you have Sniper. These heroes match up great against Lifestealer, especially the Sniper.
Yeah. Actually, I remember when Hand of Midas was always picked up. Hello, top lane. You kind of caught in the tree, so is Gabby. Both on either sides. It's Gabby who's in more... no, he'll be fine. He'll walk off. He'll walk it off.
You look at what Gabby's queued up, right? He's got the phase boots. Now he'll be going for his Midas. He's forced, not like, first off, he's only level 5, but he's forced to buy real items because he didn't have the luxury of laning against no one. He's actually got to compete. Thus, he'll have a slightly lower progression. However, mid lane, Armel, big advantage this far, and he's actually kicked Sumail out of the lane because if you don't win those first couple waves as the SF, like, you just get outranged and outdamaged by the Sniper, who's already got double Wraith and Treads. So you just click this Shadow Fiend, you drop a Shrapnel down, and he's got to be afraid at all times of Tim's, too, because if he's ever rolling forwards and hitting it, it's just a dead SF.
It does feel okay, though, to have this happen. Like, Fly's able to get his birds up a little bit faster. He can probably tank more because he's got the Gravekeeper's Cloak. So there's less chance that a TNC rotation to mid's going to work. And even if they do, you're just killing a support anyway.
Yep.
So that's fine. The thing I didn't actually say properly is like the creep I was thinking of is if Darkseer gets the dominated creep.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Because that's the old. It was one of the very, very old counters. Like you get dominated, it's like okay, well let's just get hand and Midas. Like we killed chain creeps, we killed dominated creeps. Dream Coil, Cuckoo, kind of forced to hang around a little bit longer, trying to Iron Shell up any kind of damage he can. He actually put one on top of Fly.
As the Puck versus Darkseer, not one of my favorite heroes to play against. There's really nothing you can ever do to threaten a Puck, and Coil just shuts down your ability to surge yourself or allies out of an engagement. To your point, I don't think this is an HOD game on Darkseer for that exact reason.
Yep.
Pipe, however, looks fantastic.
Yeah, there's a lot of magical if you can get it off before the fight begins, and he's actually going Crimson Guard as a first item, so he won't get your pipe just yet, but I'm fairly certain this game, considering we're seeing minuses, we're looking at Radiance builds, it's going to go a little longer.
For sure. I think I'll end up with both items, and the thing that's cool about Crimson, though, is that damage reduction against the birds is hyper effective. They will actually do 0 damage with that block active, and it shuts down.
Rolling Boulder up on top, able to get the initial kick, but here comes your Rift and Jaunt away. Have they got another stun? They got the slow from the Chilling Touch, but S4 so elusive, and he still had 10 stick charges available.
Yep. He's in no danger whatsoever, and Sumail is actually going to walk over towards top as well. Crit already with Arcanes. Wow.
It's just improving the sustain. And Sumail going for this old-fashioned build. Okay, Tim's rolling Boulder around, actually kicking crit to make sure there was no interference with the roll.
There's no vision here, and Armel's arrived. This is a big timing push for TNC. They're very strong here, but they got to be careful.
Does Gabby want to fight? He may have to level up his Reincarnate. He's holding the point for the moment. He's got a 2-0-3, and does he want to level up? He does. He's silenced up, so he'll die in the trees in just a second. The ult won't connect from S4, while the Assassination will. So crit's already down, and Gabby just walks it off. Doesn't even need the Reincarnation to pop. And the creep wave was held back thanks to the Wraith King Skeleton Warriors. So they keep the pressure up on the Tier 1 tower, and Fly's kind of stranded. Rolling Boulder forward, Gabby's doing the damage while Fly will go down. They've still got this army of the dead helping TNC's pressure, and they'll take the Tier 1 tower, plus the fight.
Look mid. Trying to get a little aggressive here, but it's just Cuckoo, who's playing a bit strange, to be honest. He's hurt his own progression, and he's spent a lot of time in this mid lane. He's going to go back to bottom now, but I love the movement from TNC. If you aren't going to rotate to your strongest hero, as they've been doing all game, consistently ganking mid for the sniper, after that, you need to bring him to these engagements, because as you saw, when you've got the Darkseer, the Wraith King, the Earth, there's so much space, there's so much chaos created in EG's lines that they can't afford to do anything to stop Armel, who just casts some shrapnels, auto attacks, ult to finish kills, no problem. He's actually going to be going for a Midas as well, just finished it. Very effective because of that 25% cooldown reduction talent at level 10. You effectively, it's a 65-second cooldown instead of the standard 90. Is very, very good. You saw Limp actually likes to go for a Necrobook for that reason, because you have 100% uptime, but this is acceptable. I mean, again, if you can get away with a Midas, why not, right? Yeah.
Especially if this game's going to drag out even more.
Oh, it will.
Like EG's going to be the ones getting aggressive and jumping in behind the lines, but you see S4's itemization. He goes for a Veil of Discord at the beginning. Is that range magical kind of spam damage? This will be another way EG can initiate. They run in closer as the Yule Scepter of Sumail utilizes perfectly by doing exactly this. Dispel out the Darkseer, start with the Razors. He'll still get the ball off when the Ice Blast is coming in. It's going to hit hard right on top of Sumail. Now Darkseer may already be dead, and they'll actually have ES follow him, but this Magnetize is causing so much damage. You've still got the Reincarnation of Elf from the Wraith King, who's going to crit his way to the success. As EU, he has to back behind the tower. They've lost their damage. Sniper is gone, and Gabby, does he need to fight? Does he need to turn for this one? Has he got any kind of army that can work for him? He'll kill off Crit, but Arteezy's already got the triple kill. Burns the Reincarnation. They will be respawning in a second, but I don't think a second is long enough for Gabby. He'll go down on the bottom lane. Stick charges buy him that little bit more time. The TNC really felt like they could take that, and it felt like half of the team did.
It just wasn't. It was the smoke move, right? EG, that's the first mover's advantage. If you're the ones actually making the play, you're going to end up finding kills first, like they did on the Cuckoo Darkseer, and it's much easier to find those follow-ups. You can see Armel getting a bit distracted, looking too far forwards, and ends up just allowing S4 to get them with the double coil. You can see they just ignore Gabby for a bit. Sniper's got to die. It's a repeat of that Liquid game we saw earlier with Miracle's OD. He is the target for EG. If you can find a kill on the Sniper, you're going to win these fights. The Sniper and the AA, you got to go for these guys first. TNC, you want to make sure that Wraith King, Dark, they got to get into the meat of EG to buy space for these squishy backliners.
Yeah, it seems so hard to do if while keeping your health. Like getting in there, sure, that's one thing. EG will come to you.
Yeah. And we'll see. It's just such a greedy game thus far. You've got Midas on 2 cores, 3 cores total. Both carries just buying Radiance afterwards. I mean, this game is going to go on for quite some time. Neither side has a core that really does much building damage until hyper late game. So I'd be shocked if this game, unless some team starts crushing it, it's going to go 40 minutes, like, easily.
Oh, easy TP out from Arteezy. He doesn't care about Cuckoo. It's going to be one of those more problematic things later on into the game, as they got nothing that actually pierces the immunity, unless Sniper could just rip him with damage. What are you giggling about?
Cuckoo's just going pipe. He was
going
thinking
pipe.
about the Crimson, and then he heard me,
hey,
and he realized that the Veil on Puck might maybe give away the fact that EG does have a bit of magic damage. Plus, whenever you're playing against Radiance, you buy the pipe first, because it'll 100% work and reduce all that damage for your squad.
Man, this is one of those times. Like, yeah, okay, well, they shouldn't be out of here. They'll have their headsets on. We hear them a hell of a lot, though, as they're only like 10 meters in front of us. Maybe 20, but
Bit further. You don't know how to convert feet.
top lane,
meters,
rolling
Toby.
boulder in, connecting with the Ice Blast. Crit, nice positioning from Tims. I expect nothing else on his ES. He's so damn good on this hero. Moved away from the fissure, and then lets Gabby come in for the glory. They need to ensure that Gabby gets the cash to increase the speed of the Radiance.
Yeah. He also skipped Midas, by the way. I neglected to look at that, but he's actually just trying to match Arteezy's pace.
S4, he has to leave. He came for the bounty runes, and now he's actually silenced up. He could not jaunt himself away. And back-to-back kills from TNC. And they'll grab as many of the bounty runes as possible.
That's really well played. That's the kind of ganks they're looking to make. Their 2 supports have a much easier time making plays around the map, whereas EGs are going to scale a bit better, specifically the Fly Visage. Already level 9? What?
Well, they gave him a lot of time. Like, they gave him the top lane after the push happened. He had the middle lane after SF disappeared. And this feels like that old... it was like the EG when Fear was with them. You'd go into the jungle, and then the supports would have the lane, and they'll come out around the 15-minute mark with a hell of a lot of levels. It's the same type of play from EG.
And real quick, look at the icons top left of the screen. Doesn't Earthshaker just look like Sniper, but like cyborg version?
You know what? I thought he actually looked like the Juggernaut with the Arcana the first time I saw him. Just that face.
Okay.
But he's Odin, right? Like with the eye.
Yeah, that's okay. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. It's like we're just going whole godly. Mars came out. It's like, you know what? We'll just try and like imitate the gods. We're playing fancy dress up here in Dota 2.
Yeah. I'm just concerned, like, Gabby's decision to skip Midas means that he's just worried about matching the Radiance timing of Arteezy, but Arteezy's actually ahead in the rushing of Radiance, and he has that Midas. So, like, he's just going to scale so much more than this Wraith King, and a lot of the lifting is going to have to be done by Armel, but Sniper, you're great, like, at this point, you're like level 10 to 12, you're mostly mixed damage, right? And the Shrapnel and the Ultimate, they're still very effective. But you fall off until you get that like 3rd, 4th item, and you become that turret of damage.
Yeah.
From this phase to maybe like 30 minutes, it's just much weaker than the SF, even with equal net worth in terms of overall damage contribution to these engagements.
Do you actually like it where it goes for the Maelstrom? Like, I understand the concept of you getting Maelstrom because you need to increase your farm rate, but when you're going up against an SF who's going to have a BKB, you're going to have a life immune, like a raging up life sealer. Like, I'm wondering if you can go the old Desolator style build on him.
You just need it, though. It's just so much. It's the item that is most improving your quality of life, really, just because it helps you farm.
Oh, thought he's going to stop the John now.
Because you don't want to have to shrapnel to push waves, and you're solely auto attacks to kill these creeps. So it also, as you said, like, you want to ensure that you're accelerating. This is a game that you've got to plan around going very late.
Yep. So he could switch it out later, but even if he gets the Mjolnir, like, that'll also work later on against the attack speed.
It's also very nice to put on the Wraith King.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, like, the timings of EG, like, because you know they're gonna want to fight. Like, we haven't seen a delivery from S4 at all. And he just picked up the Blink Dagger. We're sitting on the Courier back at base. So they will be able to have some Infest bombs. Arteezy has the Radiance recipe coming out. So this really feels like that peak time for EG.
Yeah, Midas Radiance 17 minutes 30 seconds. Not a record, I don't think, but it's
and
probably pretty close.
They actually got double Blink Daggers. Crick got his own as well. Like,
really?
If this isn't a power spike, I don't know what is.
It's go time, that's for sure. You've got two methods of delivery. You've got a Radiance. The other team doesn't. It's all about the positioning. The name of the game for EG is get on top of Armel. If they're not able to do so, if they get distracted, if they focus Cuckoo with that fresh pipe and 1600 HP, you could be punished. The smoke comes out. It's just as expected.
There was an Observer Ward nearby. It was just out of range of the Sentry. TNC may know this just because EG were falling back with two heroes over the top of the vision of that ward. And you're seeing the position of Cuckoo. He's trying to make it so if they do come up that high, they break it. Darkseer will break the other part of the smoke, and everyone's wanting to get away. This is the double blink reveal. Remember, they do not know this TNC, so if they feel like they can take the fight underneath their own Observer Ward in the back lines, Samel's going to take out Ancient Apparition with a Fallout wind-up. He takes the Requiem kill onto AA, and with the coil, Sniper, well, they actually have Gabby still fighting up against S4, and Samel, what are you doing on a cliff? He'll get back down again. Don't go Arteezy. Never go full Arteezy unless you're actually dominating. Then you can go full Arteezy. He'll turn around, try and fight the Fissure, create him some space, and maybe Arteezy, no, he's silenced up. He couldn't rage again. He'll end up going down. Tims will take the streak away from him, and he wants to run forward again using these iron shells from Cuckoo. They're finding the damage, maybe not into Fly, but they're rolling ball forward, finding it S4. They'll get the kill as well. Fly's caught on the wrong side of the tracks. At least he's got friends, his winged friends, but Cuckoo wants to take care of them too. Starts the burn. Here comes the AA blast. Fly can't TP out. He's got no mana for it. He gets hit by the ice blast, and he will 100% shatter. He'll save his birds and die for the cause.
So a lot of interesting things happen in that team fight.
It went three different ways, right?
Well, two uncharacteristic mistakes. Arteezy and S4 died with their defensive abilities off cooldown. Like, they just tanked spells and died. In addition, TNC, you have the right idea for that fight, but if you're going to engage, you need to be positioned on your own high ground with, like, Sniper chilling on the back left. If you let EG establish vision, take the high ground, and initiate on your AA Sniper, they're the first two heroes to die, you got to count your lucky stars that you actually end up trading in this fight. Because it could have gone so much worse for you had EG, like, honestly, if Arteezy just uses Rage. Like,
yeah, I don't know if we have the replay. I kind of want to almost see that fight again.
He had some time.
Okay, we don't actually have it, I'm afraid. So, but sitting up on a hillside as well, like Samel was a non-factor.
How did he get on the cliff again?
It didn't look like he got. Like, it looked like he actually. I think he blinked there.
No.
It looked like he blinked there. He jumped in deep and found himself on top of the hill. No, he blinked into the back lines to get the kill onto the Ancient Apparition, and then.
Then what?
It must have been a vac.
He
had to get vacked.
These guys got to get off the cliffs.
It's the EG special.
It really is. We got a force now on the. Wait, okay, I thought for a second that the mech went out to the Sniper, but it's actually on the Darkseer.
No, this isn't Fada playing Sniper.
Yeah, it's good itemization. Like TNC, they're checking all the boxes, they're making the right plays here, and you look at S4. I think this could actually be a problem for EG. His net worth is not nearly that of Cuckoo's, and notably, EG, you're missing that critical hero to buy the teamfight items. So Fly's got to do it, but you're asking your 5 position to buy all these sustain items now. So he's still a recipe away from a pipe, whereas Cuckoo, he'll be finishing Greaves in a couple moments already with his pipe finished. So it's a lot of HP advantage going the way of TNC for what we have to assume are some more big 5-on-5s.
This isn't what was meant to happen, though. Like, EG had their double blinks. They were ready to fight. They were meant to have the overwhelming momentum shift their way, but I know, I see a graph and it goes the opposite direction. Like, TNC are the ones who have the lead in the goal. They're the ones who are they're behind in experience, but they seem to be controlling more and more of this map.
I will say, but like right now, it doesn't matter. Like, nothing matters until the next fight that we have. And I'm trying to figure, like, what's the power spike, right? I think the next one is going to go into TNC's favor, and there's the smoke because they just have the mech.
It was spotted.
Was it?
Yeah, there's one Observer Ward. It spotted one of the heroes that went invis. It went into the cover of smoke.
Yeah, and they've got the blink though. That's the key. There it is. Blink reveal. Boom. Dead Fly.
Okay. Maybe it wasn't spotted. Apparently
not.
The Fly didn't get the memo.
Yeah, and that's the strength right there of the TNC. And if
Samel found his hero. You'll scepter him up and drop him down.
missed
And
it.
that's the reason why the 4-staff is up. Breaks the distance. And Semail, silence. Tim's arrives so quickly. And Semail's going to go down. It's a double kill for the Ancient Apparition.
Now, that is another uncharacteristic mistake from EG. Every single core now making an error that led to their death. Obviously, Smel's a goner, but if he takes out Armel, he's probably worth it. But he missed the combo. I've actually not seen Sumel miss a combo in a while, but you shouldn't be able to force staff away as sniper. You should just die.
It's a little bit off of the timing. He got it perfect on the Ancient Apparition in the last fight, but like this one, it was only a fraction of a second, but that's all you need.
All it takes.
I love the atomization as well from the sniper. He could have gone for the Dragonlance, but he went for the 4-staff at the beginning. Also helps him against the Shaker.
Yeah,
Gotta remember, we got double
that's,
ESs.
That's big, and if TNC win this game, I'm gonna have to, give a ton of credit to Gabi, because it looks strange, to skip the Midas, rush the Radiance, but it's accelerated his timing. His overall net worth is lower than Arteezy's, right? That's the Midas advantage, but it's given his team this advantage where they're currently ahead in pace. It means they can take objectives and hopefully go get the Roshan next, because if they can maintain this lead, they could theoretically just win the game off of it if they can just keep going, but specifically getting Roche.
But can you go up? Like you're talking about maintaining a lead. How do you take the big objectives? Like, how do you get that early racks if you're TNC? Does Sniper do enough damage just yet to do that? And if you're still going to worry about like Arteezy, who's continuously scaling.
It's the kill threat though, because, and this is one of the things that Wraith King does for drafts that's awesome, where your initiator is also like your frontliner, your tank. And you're able to deal damage. So if TNC can just initiate, right? All you need to do is control the map. Wraith King Earth Spirit, you go. And EG, you can't counter-initiate on those heroes. You have to get past them on top of the sniper and the AA, or you're assuredly losing the fight. Makes it a lot easier for TNC to play around the map.
Oh, S4. Another silence from Tim's. The Ice Blast will not be able to connect. Cuckoo's going to be nearby. And watch the movement of the puck. Blinks into the trees. Orb will go down and away as far as possible. S4's got your Scepter and Blink Dagger. You're not killing this puck unless every single ability hits properly.
You have another force on AU as well on that Ancient Apparition. One of the things best to do against low reach lineups, especially if you need to kite them back, is the force. One of the better hero items against Lifestealer as well. It's going to be tough for Arteezy to get his damage off in these fights.
I just love it against Earthshaker too. Like we saw Mind Control just have an absolutely spectacular game on the ES, and you see these great wall blocks.
Another smoke, but just finished BKB on Sumel.
And the pipe. The pipe actually arrived on Visage.
Yep, these are huge items for EG.
They're smoking, but I don't know if anyone was in range of that Radiant Observer Ward.
Look at that line. That is not a dire line. That is the Radiant. TNC have an idea what's happening here.
Hey guys, let's go down this way. Hey Arteezy, can you join us please? I think we're going to need everybody for this.
Yeah,
it's for the 25-minute bounty runes.
Yep.
So they get one, and there will be a target, but it's Gabi. He's so isolated from his team.
Doesn't matter. You can't go for him if you're EG. And I like this from TNC. They learned their mistake from their mistake last time. If you're going to take this fight, when you know EG's coming at you, it's got to be on your terms.
Oh, Gabi, he's underneath the Dire Observer and Sentry. They're going to jump in, go for a quick silence. They're going to get the very, very quick kill. And they've managed to claim him. Big abilities, not down just yet. Now, look at Semail winding up with the PKP. He'll hit the Requiem. They got the kill on the Wraith King twice over. But can they get more? Now the Cuckoo's made a couple of copies. The stuns in the back lines. It's a Visage for the Wraith King. The Dream Coil is keeping Armel and EU inside the river, so they can't come and join the fight just yet. Darkseid has already gone down as Puck wants to move forward. He's coming with the back of the birds. Tim's Galeese rolling Boulder out. Sniper, that Glimmer Cape didn't protect him for long enough, but they don't see him. They will, however, see AU. Ancient Apparition jumping forward, and there is a package special delivery. S4 gets the double kill. Arteezy helped him get there, and now EG will take that mid-tier one.
Man, I gotta stop cursing teams, man. Right as I prayed, like, you knew they were doing that, TNC, and maybe they were lulled into a false sense of security because they expected EG to stay bottom, but as you said, like, that was their timing. They got the BKB, they got the pipe, and I'll be honest, Dota is a pretty simple game nowadays. You get about as strong as you can, recognize when you've, like, peaked, and you just go find a fight. That's what EG did. They catch Wraith King unawares. And honestly, if TNC set up there, you could see EG wasn't really comfortable committing because they had used so many spells on the Wraith King. They had to back away because the Sniper A provides so much damage. But like Wraith King just goes down twice without even a fight.
But the funny thing was, like there was no fight because S4 was in the back lines. Who did he target? He jumped straight as quick as he possibly could onto the Sniper, found the Ancient Apparition. Like, you look for the silence and the Dream Call that just held him in the river. You had that fight in the high ground, and they were too steps down
but
from
you
hell.
can't, yeah, you shouldn't. If you're going to have Gabby farming there, you've just got to play a bit better as TNC. That's the second team fight they've taken on poor terms, and that's just EG kind of demonstrating their experience advantage, right? Because they haven't taken that fight. They've made individual errors, don't get me wrong. Each core has one death they probably shouldn't, but it's not because of mispositioning or poor five-man tactical strategy.
But it keeps the game close, at least in gold. Maybe not so much when it comes to the experience. It's that's definitely swinging a lot harder in favor of Evil Geniuses, as TNC just seem to have this big group up try and fight. Samel's waiting with an invis rune. Do they have detection? Yeah, they do. He's right on top of a sentry ward. Samel had no idea. They keep the stun chaining going. A defensive Yule set, but he's still going to BKB available. Not easy. Fighting. Samel BKB'd up, but he'll die before he gets the full Requiem. That was a death Requiem, and they'll allow the reincarnation of Gabby to pop. He'll chase up after Fly. The blink forward gets the stun. Even a fresh BKB is going to arrive, so Fly will go down. Samel, there's no way he could have known. The sentry ward was there. The creep wave was ignoring him. It was looking at something else. And he's dead for 45 seconds without a buyback available. TNC can add a lot of pressure now.
What do you want to do, though? Roche is available. Do you want to make that play, TNC? Also, love that minor thing, but Cuckoo, he not only got a wall illusion of Arteezy, he surged it forwards and ensured that the blinks on Shaker and Puck would be canceled. Really well done. And they're going to try and press for tier 3. They've got BKB on Gabby.
Maybe they're thinking they're forcing a buyback, but it doesn't exist.
It's not only that, but like you just can't force a buyback because the respawn times are just too low at the moment.
True. Also, the reason why there is no buyback, he bought Ghost Scepter before that, so you're looking at an E-Blade build-up for the SF.
It's just another example where, you know, if you get that Aegis right, now you can control the 30-minute bounties. But TNC, I would say they're outplaying EG individually, but it's the third time I feel like they're making just not the best move as 5.
It's a note for the coach, right? It's a note for the coach. You can come back to that one, and then maybe he's just like, you know what, no, it was fine to add some pressure at least.
Yeah, they did get half damage on the tier 3 mid. Unhealable damage, as someone would say. And I like what Artur is going to do here as well. He's actually gone for the Halberd, which is just great. You force Wraith King and Sniper to buy MKB if they ever want to kill you. And then Basher for more lockdown into what looks like, a Blink Dagger.
A Blink Dagger Arteezy.
Because it's not about dealing damage in this game. It's about dealing damage to the right heroes. Notably, the Armal Sniper. However, he's just finished a BKB. EG, this might not be the fight you're looking for if TNC can prepare. You got to be ready, guys. They're coming right for you.
Yeah, 5-man smoke up. They're bringing the whole menagerie. The burst behind Fly.
They nuked mid. You know they're here. You know they're here.
Maybe we phoned ahead. Gabby's already moving towards the north, but not everyone's in position. The Darkseers are a little bit further away. He'll have to come through the back lines. Arteezy that should blink forward, going up to Armel. Now going to use his fresh 10-second BKB to try and turn and fight as well. And Gabby, he's in the back lines, keeping Samel out of the engagement. Armel looks like he's finally going to go down as Arteezy pops out. One more attack. No, he's still been kept alive. The creeps gave him the life. The backpack gives him the space. They haven't found the kill. They still can't find the sniper. Samel, he can't get close enough. They even keep out of range of the death ulti. Cuckoo will finally fall. Gabby still got reincarnation. It's a 2-for-2 trade-off. AA will make that back by buying back. So will the Darkseer. They really want this fight. Moving up to Arteezy. The rolling boulder keeps him stunned and the reincarnation slows him down. S4 is able to join himself away, but Armel's just dodging left, right, and center. Looking for S4. The shrapnel will connect. He can't blink. He might be able to orb in 1 second's time. He's able to do so. Is there a silence? Is there something? He's just going further back. The Ice Blast. Looking for the mark. It's in deep. S4, don't blink. It was half a second on cooldown. He waited and then even jumped it. So he's okay.
The hustle, though. That's a play. The predict AA blast would have been epic if it were to land. Really well played by TNC. But I gotta say, it just comes back to the tools, right? That play works, if not for the BKB reveal. EG, they didn't recognize it in time, and they initiate with Arteezy. That doesn't matter. You're just going to BKB that off. If crit jumps, however, you're going to find that kill.
S4.
Unfortunately, not recognizing it fast enough.
S4 is going for some shady stuff. A fresh Aghanim Scepter. He's going to put the Veil down inside the pit. They know something is up. Maybe Veil was a little early. It reveals his position. He's got Blink and Nules, but now Roshan, 200 HP. 0 HP, and S4 just backed off because he used Orb.
I love that this game is just cool. You can see this, who controls the status quo just keeps ping-ponging, right? I'm saying, oh, the BKBs, they win TNC that fight. But S4, he's just finished that item that now removes the BKB on Sniper as a tool to keep himself alive.
Maybe that's
you
why
won't be able to do that again, Armel.
Maybe that's why it feels like this game just keeps swinging one way to the next. Like, I've got an item, I'm really good. Now the counter item appears, and then the battle goes the opposite direction.
Exactly. And Armel, of course, he's also got the Aegis now. So because of this, for the next 5 minutes, TNC, you can keep this Sniper alive most likely, or force S4 to use the cooldown on that first life, maybe even save the BKB. Keep in mind as well, Armel, he's had a Midas for so long, and he's using it 25% more often than Arteezy is.
Yeah, that's a high level of efficiency right there. But I also just love the fact, like, it's not just Armel who, like, even when he's jumped on, like, Arteezy was right on top of him. He blinked in, even got an early bash out. But what happened? It was Cuckoo, who just finished up now the full group. Like, he's got Crimson Guard, he's got Greaves, he's got Pipe. And he's got all this, and he's going straight for a 4-star after.
And that's what was missing from the EG lineup. When you go for these 3 solo-type heroes, right? 3 real cores, no one can buy the sustain items. It's not going to be the
Arteezy, he's going to rage up in time, infest into the creep wave. They'll dodge the Ice Blast for the moment, but well, he'll actually just blink away. It wasn't even in the creep wave. Happened so fast. It was just a poof of particle animations.
And again, like this Darkseer, you look at him versus Fly. This is the difference of when a core is buying your sus items and when a support is. You've got a Greaves and a Crimson Guard advantage. That is massive, especially when you consider the raw amount of physical damage both these teams possess. If AC soon on Gabby as well, that is big. EG, you might want to defend this, but it's tough because
S4, he's jumping in. He was not looking for the denial at all. He's just using that long range orb to get in and out.
I like this from TNC. You get the Aegis, then you clean up the tower's bot. Now it's just about figuring out how do you win this game. Like, you can't really just push up high ground. EG have too much spam. But you want to make sure you get a fight on your terms. I don't believe this smoke was spotted.
It was not spotted. And look how fast S4 moves. Like, he was throwing the orb out. He doesn't want to go into the wave. But the Radiance Burn, which is still on from Arteezy, is making the creeps move. There's no Radiant Observer Ward around that.
This. TNC, they counter smoke. I love it.
And they got the hill.
You've got double Aegis, remember. Reincarnate plus the Aegis on the Sniper. And I love this. Just head towards the base. If you're going to take this fight, do it by EG's base, not your own, so that when you win it, you can potentially get a Rax or at least force buybacks. You don't want to walk up to this high ground. Just because it's your jungle doesn't mean it's a good place to be. I love this move from TNC. I want them to get aggressive. Let the Wraith King go bait and maybe look to cut off EG. They can't all teleport back.
They're
going to have to run through them.
Puck doesn't actually have a TP scroll, so S4's going to orb his way back.
And look at how they're positioning TNC. They're playing topside. They know EG has to be coming from the bottom, and they have a ward on the Shrine. So long as they keep the heroes up in between them and the support, you're going to be fine.
They've already taken the tower. They're going to burn through Gabby really quickly. Darkseer wall's good. Gabby, he's so low on life, they can't kill him. The Greaves gives the life back again.
And another Arteezy illusion. You can see just sending it straight for the supports. In fact, nope, he'll actually cut bottom wave with it. Runes have spawned. S4 is going to beeline for the bottom ones. Aegis still active for another minute and a half, but if I'm TNC, I'd love to get the tier 3. They actually did before they were able to, they backed off there, which means now you just kill the shrines. This is huge. It's a slight advantage now in the map control department.
Arteezy, just saying hello to a very fearful Tims.
Yep, and I really point out Arteezy's talent as well, folks. 20% evasion at level 20, in addition to the 25% on Halberd and the Radiance Burn, of course. The next... at the point where TNC really get ahead is when Armel finishes the MKB. I was saying how his hero was a bit weaker until that phase of the game. That item is when he becomes the hyper carry and truly the strongest DPSer in this game.
He seems to have, like, at least backed off from that. He's finishing the entire Mjolnir. And is this because they're thinking of just putting the Wraith King in the front lines and just sending him like Disco Sparkle?
It's also it's slot efficient, right? He still has the Aegis, and you don't want to be replacing Midas yet. You want to keep this game going. It's going to get late. I said at least 40 at this point, really. It's going to be at least 50, maybe even 60. Second Roche may respawn in 320. Aegis will be fading in just a moment.
Yeah, because even if they claim one lane of Rax, like, that doesn't end the game. There's a lot of deep push that comes in from Evil Geniuses, and that's one of these side lane pushes too, which Puck was always so great at, where he's just able to nuke down the waves, and that's why S4's got this long range. He's jumping in and just trying to clean up the waves. Darkseer will push it back with his own orb, but S4's so elusive, he can be this close to a tier 3 tower and not be as fearful.
Yeah, and talking about base damage, it's very unconventional, but you look at the talents that our Wraith King went for. both the attack damage and the double skeleton spawned. That is huge.
Well,
These will
there's
eat
no one to burn
bases.
his mana, right? There's no diffusal blade builder on EG.
Yep. He already did 500 damage to the
S4,
tower.
he's
Oh,
got to get
S4.
out of there. The blink, the stun, they get the instant hit, but the Yule Scepter up will buy S4 some time. He'll phase shift and need to orb himself
TNC's
back.
all here, though.
He's got to get out of that shrapnel.
Yeah, and you can't pursue this if you're EG. Look at TNC. They got to read on this game now. It's just all about this. It's cover and move. You back as you continue to look aggressive. You keep your guns on the enemy. You don't go out into some sort of full retreat. Because if EG look to pursue, Armel just turns around along with Gabby. They start dealing damage back.
Nice sniper metaphor.
I do what I can.
That gun really wants to bear down. That's a 5 HP tier 3 tower. All right, Flyers is like, I'll put down a sentry ward. This is better as far as finances go, at least.
Yeah,
and look at S4 quickly. He's down on bottom lane. He's trying to do the split push.
And just remember, TNC's had the late game advantage this whole game. It's a number of factors, but you have the AA, this tool that just removes sustain from the game for EG on the initial target. You've got a sniper that's just nigh unkillable in the backlines and who just does so much damage as this game continues.
Tim, don't tell me he's using the Semail Hill. He rolling bolted up there, instantly all chatted what, and now he's actually going to break the smoke on the Visage Birds and let them know.
He's going to in a sec, or EG, they're going to turn all the way back around and try and...
They're pinging.
It's perfect from Tims.
They know something is up there. He's going to Glimmer Cape. The Sentry Ward comes down way too late. Tims is already up. Blink forward. Arteezy can't find his target. The 4-star from the Ancient Apparition. He'll bounce himself away. They still want to find Tims, but he continuously rolling boulders away. Finally, S4 will go back and deal with those skeletons. And Gabby, he's not the target you want. He's the last target you want. They have to go back. They've lost the range racks. The skeletons can't finish the job. The melee, however, it needs time to regenerate.
Yep. It's same deal. TNC, like, it's just poking and backing. You have to find that jump from EG, but TNC, they're not going to give it to him.
All these sentry wards they're planning down. They're not finding the one observe ward that's giving TNC all the information. They put down their own, but they need to get rid of that obs in the back line. Another sentry ward planted and another one out of range.
Look at this. You can see just Gabby is the one making plays. Everyone else on the team playing around where he is. He's the...
Oh, they're coming forward.
You don't want to go offside.
Observe the sentries. They see more. Gabby jumps in. He's found the ES. Arteezy, he found the Earth Spirit. That's not the right trade-off. An ES for an ES. He can't even find the kill. But the sniper, that's the bigger one. 4-star, 1 and 2 in the back. 3-man back at the wall. Tims will turn on the magnetites and let the ears be ringing like bells. Arteezy, he is locked down. Gabby will find him. And this looks like it is the worst case scenario for Evil Geniuses. They bought back on the ES. Semail is running. Gabby wants to keep up with him, and he's keeping the Radiance burn. He can't blink away. Semail has to Yule Scepter him so he can buy that space to stop the Radiance burn so he can blink away to safety.
Yeah. Arteezy bought the Abyssal for that fight, though. That means he has no buyback. And keep in mind, TNC, in these 5-on-5s, part of why they're so confident, and if EG move into them, they have all the auras. They have an AC, a Greaves, and a Crimson advantage, and you straight up can't kill Wraith King once, let alone twice. This is a Rax for sure. Maybe two once they sniff out that Arteezy has no ability to buy back into this game. And here come the skeletons, dude.
Semail has to get rid of the streetwear quickly, but they just jump into the mid. This is why you went that talent, right? Burning through, they fortify up. It's the only thing EG can do to try and keep him alive. A quick E-Blade onto Gabby stops him from at least attacking for a moment, but it doesn't stop everything else from pushing in further. They move towards the mid. Again, you don't want to go on Gabby. They still haven't even popped his reincarnation. You can orb through, you can hit him from range, but he just continues to tank and tank and tank. Second lane of Rax is gone, and TNC, they'll back up to shrine it and reset.
Perfect. I mean, the one bright spot for EG is they did collect all 4 bounty runes, which is why the gold disparity didn't shift as much as you might expect. But, I mean, TNC at this point, they're in a winning position in this game, so long as they continue to demonstrate they understand their win condition, which is never, if you're going to initiate, it's like around where your teammates are positioned. You don't want your Wraith King blinking too far forwards because it requires then his backline to expose themselves to try and help him out. You just kind of keep moving as this like ball of 5. You ever watch like a group of kids like holding a string? You know, like
yeah.
Teacher guides them. That's Gabby in this game, trying to ensure they find their way.
EG are not going to want to follow this string.
Yeah, well, it's tough. It's so tough, though. How do you actually get on Armel at this point?
I really don't know. They're scanning out Roshan. So EG actually got a correct ping on Roshan because you had it was Tim's walking past it, and they all moved towards the pit. But he's not up yet, and he won't be up for another 42 seconds. But you know it will be the next point of contest, and I think the only way EG can get back in this game.
Yeah,
they need a huge fight.
And I just love, like, TNC's just demonstrated, like, they've been learning, like, they learned from what they did wrong, and now that EG's off map, you've got 2 racks. This is the new, like, their standing is 5, and look at the way they've positioned. There's no real way EG could possibly catch them off guard, so long as they continue to do this.
I'm looking at the scythe on Semail. Like, this is the next big item. Like, this whole game has just been around, like, I pick up an item and I counter someone. Like, he's got this. Who can they actually kill? Because the last jump that EG went for, they went for the Earth Spirit. Like, he was the only one that presented himself because they were always at a vision disadvantage. How do you actually play this now? Like, where do you get your vision, and who do you want to go on, apart from just saying sniper?
It's AA specifically and sniper. There really isn't another target for you. Look at the HP pools on these other 3 heroes. Cuckoo, 25 armor, all the support items, 2600 HP. You got 26 armor as well on the Earth Spirit with a Glimmer Cape and a Ghost Scepter. Like, it's just not possible.
Gabby was just sitting on the other side of the river, taunting him up. There's a Gem of Truth out in S4, so that Glimmer Cape doesn't protect him. The Soul Assumption damage down. Can they pop the Reincarnation? They can't. And RT's going to get hit by that Ice Blast. They'll have to retreat. The Darkseer wall being burnt by TNC. And they get what they kind of wanted. It's the copy of the Life Stealer. That's 40 seconds they'll have him for. And Roshan's up. The Bird's watching it, however, from that little nook and cranny.
I'm surprised it's not been changed yet, because you can't actually see that bird, but it does give vision of the Roche pit.
Hey,
I really don't like that.
We'll get around to the
Works
changes.
with couriers too.
Just like we'll get around to the Fatal Bonds being changed up.
Still in beta.
Smoking up, they're coming in. The blink forward, finding the target is going to be flying crit. He's going to fissure, try and buy some space, but Gabby doesn't care. In fact, he wasn't even hit by the fissure. Welcome to the army of the dead. They're moving north.
They should know Fly used buyback in that last fight. Will be dead for 70 seconds, which means they most likely get this Roshan for free.
Oh, AU, look at his positioning. He's in the tree line behind. He's going to TP out now. He doesn't. I think he realized he doesn't want to be in the middle of all of EG.
Yeah, and I like what TNC. Again, just this is an unlosable game if they don't throw. Just keep finding fights, play as 5.
Oh, Gabby, he jumped in as a quick phase shift. They turn around. The Hex is out from Semail. They're looking to keep the control over on the Wraith King. Still got that BKB available. They blink out. It's like they're trying to force his BKB or something. But another phase shift and a blink out from S4.
If it's TNC, they're just trying to get their point. They're pushing EG away so they can finish this Roche. EG, like, you can see they're initiating on Wraith King, but they recognize this is not our target.
Yep.
Gabby has not used BKB. He's not really threatened because EG can't full commit.
Also, watch the North. Just like Game of Thrones, the dead come for you. They will push through the lane. They will go for the tier 4 towers. It's a nice vision to at least hold Gabby, but then, hey, you got Surge. That'll get him further down, and Roshan's already begun it.
Oh,
he jumps in! He got a huge hit! Armel's gonna go down! Roshan was in there helping him out! Tim's gonna fall as well, Arteezy! He's doing the damage, and the Echo Slide follow from Crit! It's opening the space! You can back it back into the wall! Reincarnation will hold him there! Semail, what have you got to give? Another Hex available, but Gabby, his BK will protect him! He's looking towards Crit, and actually just have the Surge and Cuckoo running through Evil Geniuses! Arteezy will rage TP out! Does he have the time? Does he have the space? He does! They will manage to live, but Roshan, he's so low on life. They turn around TNC. S4's nearby on almost no life, and he'll be silenced and killed. Buyback is available for him, and he'll commit it instantly. TNC kind of got what they were looking for. That's a lot of buybacks on 2 big cores.
That was so sick, though. It didn't work. But that was sick. EG recognized, like, look, for the love of God, we need a fight on our terms. We have to somehow surprise TNC, and they even got me off guard because that was an infested Life Stealer inside of S4 Puck, and they just hopped out of nowhere, and all of a sudden they have all spells used on 3. Both teams trade buybacks. Unfortunately, TNC still with that huge advantage. Once those huge spells from EG are down, not much left in the tank.
40-second cooldown when it comes to Reincarnation. They're trying to break it right now. Ice Blast is coming in. Fly. They're all being hit. The vac wasn't in time, but they're underneath the shrapnel. Fly and Semail. They can't walk out this one. Cuckoo's walking up next to Semail, making sure he cannot blink away to safety. Defensive Fuel Scepter, but Puck is there for 110. Semail will join him as well. Armel's just pumping the glass cannon damage from behind. Semail, he's just trying to get him to Fountain, but TNC, they're coming into your home, and they're stealing everything you've got. Arteezy will move over for maybe 1 kill into the Ancient Apparition, but he knows he can't claim it. They'll fight him inside the Fountain. No. Objective-based gaming. Remember what you came here for. Take the tier 4s, take the Dire Ancient, and take the GG call out of Evil Geniuses, because you're going to get all of them.
Yeah, this is most certainly the game. You've got 2 cores down without buyback, unless Arteezy can pull off some miracles.
Oh, he's blinking him. He's going for the Abyssal Blade onto ES, but once again, it's this Darkseer, never-ending life with the Greaves. Maybe with the stuns, Gabby. He's still got Reincarnation available. Flies the one with his little familiar, trying to find the stun. Crit's doing what he can to stun it to Gabby, but the Abyssal Blade is a little bit stronger, not to mention the teamwork from TNC. Arteezy was in the back lines, but the 4-stuffs, Mel just keeps pushing away, and BKBs, finally the GG call. It does come out. 47 minutes it took, but TNC claimed game 1 in this best-of-3 winners bracket semi.
Yep, and you can just see the difference. Neither side wants to target the enemy one, right? Arteezy is equally impossible to kill as the Gabby Wraith King, but the difference is that EG can't keep him in front, and Arteezy isn't really a true initiator, so he isn't able to make himself that target like Gabby is. You know, again, credit to EG. They very creative way to give themselves a shot into this, but well executed by TNC. They made some errors and then learned from it throughout the game, ensured that the following team fights always went their way on their terms, and just a great game of Dota 2. And again, kudos to Gabby. Not going for the Midas, going for that fighting build in a way. The Radiance, straight into the Blink, but he knew Armel was the true carry, and great understand. Like, he allowed them to keep taking those fights from 15, 20 minutes on, and they never really let go of the game.
Yeah, they really didn't, because every single fight they did, they put it into a perfect item to enable the next fight when they were ready for it. But it was a nice back and forward. EG definitely didn't get walked over, but TNC played great. Cannot wait for game 2 to see how the swing continues.
Indeed, yeah, TNC taking game number 1 here at ESL One Birmingham's bracket stage, of course. Nothing from these two to lose in terms of being in the tournament. They'll guaranteed to be in the main event itself. But who will live on to get into the top of the bracket? And don't forget, I know it's a bit of a meme out there, but the winner of this series is guaranteed top 3. EG, though, currently 1-0 down to TNC. We're back with our panel members once more, Pyrian Flax and T-Governor alongside. Good display from TNC.
Yeah, I think you can tell from the draft as well, TNC had comfortable heroes that they wanted. They had their second pick AA, they had the Darkseer. Like, the first 4 heroes were, when you look at all the TNC games they played, this is probably one of the best ones that they can pull out. So I'd like to see EG in the next game maybe show a little bit of respect to some of the elements in this draft.
Okay.
Or know that it's coming and just have a better plan
for it. Yeah, because to be fair, Ted, that's also some very comfortable heroes for EG as well. I mean, we were talking about, you know, it's the S4 Park, it's the SF Samael, it's the Visage from Fly. These are comfort heroes for them too.
They are. I really like TNC's draft. I like it when you have a Wraith King who understands, like Kyle said, that their job is not to be the one who lives. He's the one who goes in and fights. And like you were saying, they like these drafts where in C, where a guy goes in, Wraith King goes in, yeah, he dies, but you've got all this follow. You've got Darks, you've got Air, you've got Earth Spirit, and then you've got Sniper the whole time, just picking it away. Off. And that's exactly what you want. And I thought it was a really good draft, well executed.
And especially with the itemization on the Sniper, he went for the Midas, he then went for the Maelstrom, which allowed him then to get the early BKB, and he could always scale in the game and also not be punished. Early on in some of the engagements, he was getting caught by the core, getting caught by the fissures, but it still didn't really hinder their overall game plan, because as soon as the Sniper picks up the BKB, they have no answers. They're going to have to somehow lifesteal or get a blink, then jump onto the Sniper, maybe have an Abyssal. There's so many more items that EG needs even to get onto the Sniper. And that's why I think as well, TNC with second pick, it's a scary team. They can pull out these Alks, they can pull out these Meepos potentially. Again, with the Snipers, I think it's when you have this well-rounded draft that leads into this ultimate last pick. EG needs to have this in mind. They need to try and tick the boxes. Oh, can we play against Huskar? Can we play against a Brute? Can we play against, you know, and just need to make sure their draft in the next game can answer some of these questions.
Okay, I think I know the answer to this one, but I'm going to ask the question anyway. MVP?
Jeez. I mean, I'm a Wraith King fan. I always have been. I'm going to have to give it to Gabby. I mean, I thought he played excellently, so I'll give it to him.
Okay. Yeah, I think Gabby played really well. Again, I think the Sniper played also very well.
Yeah.
But sure, I think Gabby, the way that he was able to play in your face and not actually
he enabled
overcommit too much, right? Yeah. He wasn't like jumping in and then dying, and then it was like his ult was then like, okay, guys, come now, I'm now dead. Yeah. It's more like I'm jumping in, I'm dying with a purpose.
Yeah,
and so,
dying with purpose.
Yeah.
That's Wraith King in a nutshell. Yeah.
Dying with a purpose. I like that. Okay, break time for us here in Birmingham, but don't go too far away. Game 2 just around the corner. Don't forget, we're done with the best of 2s. This is all about the best of 3s. Still a chance for Evil Geniuses to make the comeback. We'll see if they can start that road very shortly.